This episode is on the novel On Beauty by Black British author Zadie Smith. The story is about two families, the Belsies and the Kipps, whose male family heads are art historian colleagues and enemies. Tackling issues of race, gender, and class, the novel navigates between British and American societies. To give us insights on gender and body politics, I've invited Josephine, an Accra-based photographer who uses her art to tackle these societal issues. Since beauty and the body are our topics, Twist and Lock Salon in Osu was just the right place.
The title is On Beauty, and then when you're done reading the book, you're like, okay, so why beauty?
Why beauty, yeah. Exactly. I actually had that same thought. But then, so like I said, so there's the physical and there's the emotional part of beauty. In the book, there's a lot of references to physical beauty in terms of how Howard sees his wife and the people he cheats on. And then there's the inner beauty in terms of how, for example, the daughter Zora, it seemed like she had a lot of issues with dealing with herself and how she looked. So there's lots of play on both emotional and physical beauty in the book.
Okay, so Kiki is a character which I found actually kind of fascinating. I wanted to first know, what do you think of that character, Kiki? Like, what does she represent? What does she mean to you?
I think Kiki found a balance between having her own sort of freedom and then also trying to conform to what society expects of her in terms of how she looks and the fact that she's black, living in this really overly white populated place with these academics. And in the book you can see that she was trying to always sort of find her way to fit in into that space, but still somehow found her freedom and found her place, and like she was really comfortable and like, this is my family, this is who I am, so I felt like she's a really strong woman, and to be able to find that balance between the two.
So Howard, her husband, is a white man, and he cheats on her with a slim white colleague. Do you also see the way Howard is playing, maybe unconsciously, white against black?
I don't think he was very conscious of it. I just think he's just drawn to much smaller women, irrespective of if they're white or black.
Okay.
Because eventually he cheated with Victoria.
Victoria, who is black.
True. Yeah, who is black. I don't know. There was a line that Howard said in the book that really got me like so angry. He was like, so she was accusing him, telling him, "Oh, you humiliated me for sleeping with a much skinnier and white woman." And then the first thing he says is, "I married a slim black woman." It just like came out to me. I was like, wow, he doesn't really understand the whole concept of like the female body and how it works.
She bearing 3 children?
Yeah, she had 3 children. You guys have been married for like 30 years. I mean, definitely her body is going to change. And he just doesn't understand, or he didn't understand, or I don't even think he thought about it in that way. That definitely, just having one child alone, your body goes through a lot of changes, both emotionally and physically. And it's like you still expect your wife to still remain that same kind of person. Like I feel like it just brought their whole life, or their love life down to just physical looks.
Yeah.
I'm happy about the fact that she didn't how do I say it? She didn't
give in to
his preference and just stay the way she is, and this is who I am. You have to love me for me. You can't just reduce our whole existence, our whole love life to just me being a slim black woman.
When you hear, the kind of beauty criteria is when you're on the continent of Africa, even some people in the diaspora, they'll always say, yeah, but we love our women to be curvy, etc. So do you think there's a difference, or maybe there's more tolerance towards curvy bodies in Ghana, in Africa, in Black Africa, or do you still think that it's maybe more and more conforming to the slim standard?
I mean, yeah, you hear a lot of guys saying, yeah, they prefer their women to be big and curvy, and they have to have something to hold and things like that. But then you go online and then you see some people talking, and then it looks like their preference is like they're trying to conform to this whole, your woman has to be skinny, your woman has to be slim. They want their woman to still have curves.
So like ass, hips,
Yes.
breast,
Yes.
yeah, but then flat tummy.
Yeah.
Moving to another character who is actually going through a very hard time, Jerome. Jerome.
I love Jerome.
Yeah? What do you love about him?
He's very sensitive. I don't know, I like guys who are sensitive, and he's very much aware of himself. Like, he's very in touch with his emotions as well.
He is.
So, yeah, that's what I love about him.
And interesting is because he's shamed by his own father, shamed by his own brother, of being too much aligned with his feminine side. And plus, his body is described as curvy, like he has hips. And because of that, and it's even so, the first description we get of him is his own dad, thinking about his son. And he's like, of course he wouldn't have a girlfriend. I mean, moving around looking like a woman, like something is too feminine.
So in the beginning of the book, when I was reading it, I actually thought Jerome was queer. Like, I thought he was gay because of like all these descriptions. And then I was like, wait, no, he's just who he is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just found I don't know why I find that our parents like to pass on their I don't know what word to use, their beliefs or their whatever down to their children. And it really affects their children. I mean, look at Jerome. Look how much he struggled for his dad to accept him, but still, I mean, with all that, even telling his dad he's going to get engaged to this woman, he has found a woman he's going to get engaged to.
Who is Victoria?
Who's Victoria?
Bad pick.
Yeah, but I don't know. I love Jerome. I find that a lot of guys need to be in touch with themselves. They need to get to know themselves, both physically and emotionally. And I feel like Jerome was so much aware of that.
Do you think that the constrictions are tougher on men having to be gay? Because there's always this blame of, are you gay? This kind of homophobia pending on them.
Okay, let's bring this down to Ghana. You can't be a man and be emotional here in Ghana. You can't be a man and express your emotions. If when you do that, they'll tell you you're weak. And I feel like a lot of guys try to just avoid being labeled as weak or not hardworking or whatever.
Okay.
So in order to please society, if I should say, they have this
hard man.
But interesting enough, I find that nowadays with the youth especially, guys are more open and they express themselves more now than before. So you will see a lot of difference between if maybe when you see like a 20-year-old guy and like a 40-year-old man, you see the difference, like it's just there.
Yeah.
So, and even though, here in Ghana especially, people don't want to be labeled as gay or queer or whatever, you still see them or find them expressing themselves, their emotions, or how they feel about something, irrespective of what other people are going to tell them. I think that even if people call them gay, they have a way of like playing it off. If they are not, they have a way of like playing it off and say, oh no.
What do you think changed within a generation for these people to have more space to make a claim?
Definitely media, and like being able to like experience what's going on outside of Ghana and the continent. Also, I think the women, we are sort of encouraging men now more to express themselves. I think art is the best way to deal with a lot of these things. Art is very instrumental in shaping the way people think or accept things. Or in Ghana, those things are not spoken about. Those things are not talked about at all. To have a conversation like that with someone, like, I don't know, you will have to, like, I don't know, like, consult all the forces and before someone actually can talk about something like that. And it starts that conversation, and then you can talk. That's where you can start talking to people about these things that apparently it's like a taboo to talk about here in Ghana. So yeah, art really does shape. Like, yeah, it makes people comfortable to be able to talk about those things. You start that conversation yourself if you feel like this is something that's bothering you, or this is something that you need to address. Just start the conversation. Definitely, by all means, like 100%, someone else will come up and say,
definitely, yeah, this is me.
So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.